Hello everybody and welcome to your Saturday morning dose of the Mojo. No coffee today, but high on life out here in the woods. We'll get to that in just a minute, but before we get started, I want to say congratulations to Miss Kristen Mirsky, K-Star, TCG3 killer, getting one over at Columbia Club. Great job. And also want to say congrats to Michael, who's got one on the board, Christine, who also put one up already this month, and of course Miss Emily Picard. Great job over at the Axe, already got one up. Well, without further ado, let's do a little training. Good time. Whew. Let me catch my breath and I'll be right back with you. All right, so today I'm coming to you live from out here in the trails to talk about practice. Not about why we need to practice, not about how we should practice, but actually how practice should be taking place. Because I'll tell you something, just like on bikes, so in sales, you can read everything you want to read about riding a bike, and it's not going to help you get any better. I've met these guys, super nice bikes, super clean, super tuned up. They can tell me who won the Tour de France in 1943 if it was happening then or something. And they know everything there's to know, but I ask them, why aren't you on your freaking bike riding it? I don't clean my bike. Nick can testify to the fact that I never work on my bike. I just ride my bike. I practice, and I practice intentionally. When I won the national championships a couple years ago, I was in my late 30s, it wasn't because I was more physically fit or had better endurance than anybody else. Not the case. The difference between me and most people who race mountain bikes, most people just go get on their bike and ride. Me, I'd get on my bike, I'd find some really hard section of trail. It might only be like 20 feet long, might be a single corner. I'd get off my bike, walk back through the trail, look at it, ride it again, walk it again, ride it again, walk it again, ride it again. And that's one of the things I want to get into with the training today, is that it takes intentional, concentrated, tedious, even frustrating practice to become great at any skill, right? And my favorite quote recently is that you have about much likelihood of becoming a great salesperson from watching these videos and attending sales meetings as you do going to your local bar tonight, drinking all night, and becoming a better bartender. In other words, if people spent half as much energy and resources on actually practicing skills as they do buying books and reading and attending training seminars, if they even spent a third of that, be so much better salespeople. So let's get into it. What are the big five I like to talk about when it comes to training? Right, the big five. First thing I'm going to tell you is practice everything at least 3 times. Okay, at least 3. And the reason I say this, and I'll build on number 2 first, is practice in a safe place. In other words, practice with me, practice with Speciale, practice with the trainee, practice with your partner. I guess if you have a C client, practice with them. The reason I tell you that you want to practice at least 3 times and in a safe place is because a lot of people learn some skill, they hear about it, hey, I'm going to start asking problem questions. Learned about that at the sales meeting. John was really into it. Let's try that out. Let's do some problem questions. So you end up meeting a customer, they're a hot customer, they look great, you're like, I'm gonna try this. And then you try it, and what happens? Lo and behold, it doesn't actually work because you're uncomfortable. You don't know what you're doing. But all you know is you had failure, you lost the client, now you're like, doggone that John Hudson teaching me things that don't work. This is so stupid, I'm never doing that again. And I've actually heard people tell me this. You know that thing you told me about in sales training or negotiation or whatever? Yeah, I tried it, it didn't work. It's stupid, I'm never doing it again. Did you practice it? I mean, I didn't just show up to the Nationals with a new mountain bike, never having rid one, and said, oh, I'm gonna go out here and win the Nationals. I'd practice hundreds, like thousands of hours before I showed up, right? And we should be doing the same thing on the sales floor. Number 3, when it comes to practice, start thinking about quantity over quality. How much practice can you get in? It's not about how good it is, it's just about doing it and doing it. So when you're asking problem questions, once again as an example, just practice a whole bunch of problem questions. And what you'll find is the quality of the questions will improve and they will work themselves out, okay? Number 4, and this is kind of a big one, be okay with failure, right? So I was out here hiking the other day with a buddy of mine, and he said basically, look, John, I'm going to, go hiking with you, whatever. We were geocaching with the kids, and we were hiking around. He's like, man, some of these trails are pretty crazy. Do you ever crash? I said, crash? Are you kidding me? I crash all the time. As a matter of fact, it's a strength of mine. I kind of feel like it's one of my great strengths that I crash better than other people. He kind of looked at me quizzically like, wow, that kind of sucks, I would guess. And I said, well, maybe it does, but my way of looking at training is if I'm not crashing, I'm not trying hard enough, right? If you're not failing, then I would challenge you that you're actually not trying new things, or at least at a very minimum, you're not trying hard enough. And number 5, and here's the key, is build your mental endurance so that you can continue practicing over and over. And what I think the key is here is practicing one thing at a time. It takes a lot of mental endurance to deal with the mundacity of just practicing a single element of the sales process over and over and over till you get it down. But practice one part till you get it down. It's kind of like PAS, problem, amplify, solution. We're not working on amplify, we're not working on solution, we're just working on the problem. For a month, practice one thing, asking problem questions for a month. I guarantee you're gonna get much better at it. So that's what I have to say about the training today. This week, it's been a tough one with the 4th of July falling in the middle of the week. A lot of people off on our team, a lot of customers off work, not a lot of transactions, only got 4 sales on the board right now. Good news is there's a ton working this weekend. I know I talked to everybody on my team. I talked to Monica, Katie, Michael, Emily, Libby. They're all talking like they have stuff that's gonna, Ashley, all talking like they're gonna have stuff that's gonna get on the board. So my only real question is, looking at the 4 signups that we have right now, where you at, East Side? Because the West Side's bringing it. And without further ado, one more little trip on the bike. And this one's a doozy. All right, guys, have a great weekend. If you need anything at all, let me and John know. Good luck and good selling.